interesting. I was born some 83 years before, and I always thought from where we have come, from where these biomolecules come, how we are framed, how our body is framed. Are you not interested in knowing that what is your origin? Are you? Yes, sir. Good. So you see, God is wonderful. All of you have got faith in the God, and it is the faith which molds the life of a person. So what God has done, God has made only two things. I will tell you how the God has created those two things. One of the things is the particle. And particle has come from the energy which I will explain to you later on. And there are many theories like that of the Darwin, that how we have been produced, but they are absolutely wrong. And the reason I will explain to you. So what you see here, that what you see here, that you have got a ball. Ball otherwise is inert. It cannot move unless you hit the ball and then it goes away somewhere. Do you agree with me? Yes. And this is the energy which the bat is giving. And therefore, we are governed by these two basic fundamental things in the life. One is the particle, and other is the energy. For knowing this, you have to read the physics. You have to read the particle physics. So it is not desirable that you only limit yourself to one thing and that is the allopathic or the modern medicine. You should have a wide vision so as to see how can you bring about the health of the people. So, you have got the particulate matter here, and then you have got the energy which is hitting. What happens? We are the same, all organs are same. But when we die, then what happens? हमारा पार्थिव शरीर जो है वो यही रह जाता है. But you cannot bring it back. But there was a time in the ancient times that the people could bring back the life within in the dead people. I will tell you later on. Okay? Next. How the particulate matter is existing in this universe. You see, there are two things. There was one theory, and that theory was the Big Bang theory. And in Big Bang theory, they said that when the energy is colliding, then the particle is produced. And that theory was called as abiogenesis. Right? But this does not hold true. And the reason is that a living thing can only produce living beings. The particle as such cannot do it. And I will tell you later on. Then you see what I have told you in this diagram, that this is the view, that what happens, that first you have got these smaller particles like the protons, quarks, electrons and other things, and then you form a plasma state, and from the plasma state you get different types of different tattva, that is the air, water and Prithvi. And in Ayurveda there is type of this and what. It's very interesting that we don't, we believe that we have come from a smaller particle like the amoeba, and then gradually we grew to the other bigger things, and finally the human being is born. But this is not really the case. In this situation, you see what I have told to you, that if the particle is made, it is the distance which matters and makes the state of the matter. You know that if the particles are closer together, they form air. If they are still closer together, then you form a liquid. And if they are still closer to you, then it forms a solid. And this is how your body is also constituted. So, this is what I have mentioned in the Panch Tattva theory, but Big Bang theory does not explain the creation of consciousness, which is of most importance to your life, and it does not help with the development of the sensorium. These two things are of utmost importance for the living beings. If you don't have the consciousness, you are no more a living being. Second thing, if your sensorium is not sensitive enough to pick up the things, you cannot gain the knowledge. And therefore, it is important that these should also be associated with the living particulate matter, with the energy. Because these are the signs of the living beings only. Right? Yes, please. Now, every particulate matter, I told you just now, that it's a matter of arrangement of the biomolecules and the other particulate matter that gives you different types of these states. For example, in this equation, you can get, I have told you, different types of the states of the matter. Now, what is the property of particulate matter? The particulate matter has got a mass. It occupies the space, and it is affected by the gravitational force. I will tell you what is the difference between these and the spiritual particles. And these Panch Tattva, they make the whole universe and the whole of the Brahmanda. Then, one very interesting thing is there. This is your part of the Brahmanda. These are the animals, and these are the creatures, and these are the creations, buildings, etc. And here what you see, that these Panch Tattva, they have made the biomolecules, they have made the DNA, they have made the chromosomes. If the time will permit, I will tell you later on how this comes in. And then you see ultimately when the DNA is formed, then you have got the protein, fats and other biomolecules which ultimately make a man. Do you get my point? Good. Next. I told you there are two things. One is the energy and other is the particulate matter. And I have told you about the particulate matter, that how these particulate matters are active unless they are not producing consciousness. You see, the sun gives you light, does it? Similarly, the spiritual particles, they give you consciousness as well as the sensitizing capacity to sensitize your sense organs to produce knowledge. So, what are the different types of the energy? There was a time when you know that there was a very big ball of fire. Everybody accepts that. Even the modern philosophers, they do accept to it. Now this fireball consists of three things. One of them is the outermost zone, the other is the middle zone, and third is the innermost zone, which is, you are saying that it's very, very active. This is very important to know the philosophy from Vedas and Gita, that how these three layers they produce. I have written also there the Bhagavad Gita, and you can see the chapter 7 of the verse 4. So, the outermost zone, these are three types of the Vishnus, and Vishnus are nothing, but they are different types of the energy. So, the outermost zone created different types. This outermost is creating different types of the Mahatattva, that is the particulate matter along with the energy. You should appreciate that different types of the energy, they can also produce different types of the particles. The reason is, जैसा seed होगा वैसे ही उसका प्रोडक्ट होगा। अगर आपका सीड स्ट्रॉन्ग है तो the product will be very strong. If the seed is weak, it will be breakable, and therefore this is the outermost weakest layer and which can be destroyed. तभी हम लोगों का शरीर जो है वो in due course of the time it goes away. So this is what I have mentioned here, that this which to create an outer core, and then you have got the middle core. Now in the middle core, here you are seeing that there are two types of the layer. One is which is in touch with the outer layer, and one which is in touch with the inner layer. And I tell you that inner layer is very, very powerful, and it is immortal. It cannot be destroyed by anything. I'll tell you how in the universe, you know, the things, they move and they destroy. So, the outer layer creates diversity. देखो कितनी महिमा ऊपर वाले की है कि it can differentiate you. How it can differentiate? सिर्फ उसने एक DNA का पार्टिकल लिया, सिर्फ उसने क्रोमोसोम का एक पार्टिकल लिया और उसको कैंची से काट के और डिफरेंट पीपल और डिफरेंट लिविंग क्रिएचर्स बना रहे हैं। कितनी सुंदर बात है। As a biochemist, can you do it? You can never do it, because you must have that energy which has come from the innermost soul. No. Now, then you have got the inner layer also, which is in touch with this burning energy, and this gives rise to you the Atma. You know what is Atma? You know what is Sukshma Sharir? Sukshma Sharir, जैसा कि वेदों में कहा गया है, it is the minutest particle. हम कहते हैं कि इलेक्ट्रॉन ढूंढ लिया ये गॉड पार्टिकल है, क्वार्क ढूंढ लिया तो गॉड पार्टिकल है। नो, the particle can be divided and divided and divided, even divided into millions of particles, you know, which we are not aware. We know only the limited knowledge till the quark. And therefore, this this layer, that is the which is producing the Sukshma Atma, is the minutest particle, and it comes along with in the human subject. Thus, Atma has got the property of both the layers, that means of the outer layer as well as of the inner layer. Now then, the inner zone comes, the inner zone which is vibrating like anything, and it is the strongest type of the energy which is ever seen in this universe, and this produces the particles such that you get the immortal incarnation. अगर आप भी इस एनर्जी से बने होते तो आप मर नहीं सकते। Now, this is what I have shown, the outer zone, and this outer zone is creating all living beings. You have got the plants, you have got the buildings, you have got the bacteria, you have got the animals, you have got the lots of human beings, and you have got all types of the planets, and which are of different layers. I will tell you sometime later that what types of the layers are there upstairs and where we go. And there are 21 types which have been described in Vedas, and in Muslims also they have described 7 types of layers where we go. कहते हैं ना, तुम्हारा दिमाग 7वें आसमान पे है, अभी मार के नीचे उतार दूंगा. So that means even in the Muslim region they believe that there are different types of the layers, and such is the situation in our situation as well, but there are 21 in types. Okay? मैंने आपसे कहा कि जो आत्मा है, जो minutest particle है, which is originated from the outer core of the middle zone, has got the voluntary control. You know, just as there are 5 tattvas, similarly in your body also there are 5 things only. कौन-कौन सी हैं? One, you have got the autonomic nervous system. You know it very well, you are reading it. Then you have got the endocrinal system, which also you you are reading. Then you have got the autopoids which are being produced by the cell. Then you have got the defense mechanism, and which consists of two, that is the oxidative mechanism, defense mechanism, and you have got the immune mechanism. काश ये immune mechanism हम सब में इतनी ज़्यादा होती, तो we would have not died in bulk with virus attack. And therefore, this is of much more important because your defense system is very, very important. And then you have got overall genetic control. You have got the task of genetic control. So what do you see? That these things which are governed by our minutest particle, that is the Sukshma Sharir or the Atma, is controlling automatically everything. You need not to do. Your heart will beat. You will respire. You will do everything. But the other thing, which is a part of the, which is part originated from the outer core of the middle, I told you, it only controls the motor system. तो आप चाहें तो अपने हाथ हिला लें, पैर हिला लें, मगर आप अपने दिल को रोक नहीं पाते। रोक पाते? कहते हैं दिल है कि मानता नहीं। So दिल is also a very, very interesting thing. Next, please. So voluntary control is being governed by the outer zone of the Atma. Now this middle zone, as I told you earlier, creates differentiation. And this differentiation, a different type of people. सारी दुनिया आप घुमाइए, and you will not find, except 6 pairs, you will not find a similar face. कभी-कभी आप कहते हैं ना कि अरे मैं तो आपको देख रहा हूँ, देखा है तुझे कहीं ना कहीं, लेकिन याद आता नहीं. So the people are quite different from each other. The faces are different. You are all different types of the faces. But what God has done, that this chromosomal material is divided into different pieces. आप में कितने chromosomes हैं? How many pairs you have got? 20? 23 pairs. But there is some more also. So, if you have got chromosomes of the heart, then they are 32. And if there is a donkey, they are 31. If there is a mule, then they are 63. Similarly, in other species also, you have got different types of the zone, and the human being, chimpanzee or picker. So what you see, God ने कुछ किया नहीं खास. God ने तो अपनी शक्ति दी और कैंची से काट के different types of the chromosome, किसी को गधा बना दिया, किसी को घोड़ा बना दिया, किसी को बत्तख बना दिया, और किसी को आप जैसा human being बना दिया. He was a great engineer. I think you agree with me that no engineer is greater than the God ever existing. Next, please. Now, this is from the inner zone. तो inner zone क्या है? उसमें से मॉडल पैदा होगा कि इमॉडल पैदा होगा? बताइए. इमॉडल पैदा होगा, right? और जितने incarnations हैं, they have all been described to the immortal. So I have made so many avatars, and they are immortal. They never die. They are converted into the own energy, and they go to different planets from their form. It's a wonderful thing we can never think of. Next, please. Next, please. Now I told you what is important. Important for you is only 2 things. कि आपके अंदर कॉन्शियसनेस होनी चाहिए. अगर आपके अंदर तन में चेतनता ही नहीं है, तो यू आर नॉट लिविंग बीइंग. अगर आप अपने सेंसोरियम को टच करके ये नहीं पहचान पाते हैं कि ये मैडम साधना है या कौन क्या है, इसका मतलब ये कि आपका जीवन चल नहीं सकता है. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि कॉन्शियसनेस एंड सेंसिटिविटी ऑफ द सेंसोरियम आर द मेन साइंस ऑफ द लिविंग बीइंग्स. और जो थ्योरी पहले मैंने आपको बताई थी बायोजेनेसिस वाली, कि उन्होंने कहा ऑटोमेटिकली आ गया पार्टिकल, म्यूटेशन हुआ and that theory was called the theory of abiogenesis. But that theory could not explain of the Darwin, that from where the consciousness has come. Nobody has ever explained. There are lots of theories which have been given in the modern literature, but no theory has given the reason why the consciousness has not come and why the sensorium sensitivity is not present. So वो theory है, वो तो अधूरी theory है. So I don't believe that their theory of the modern science is important. Actually, देखो हम लोग we used to do certain experiments. हम क्या करते हैं कि हमने कुत्ते को एड्रेनालिन दी एक से और दूसरे में ट्रांसफर कर दिया. So what will happen? That will also get activated. Adrenaline. लेकिन एड्रेनालिन नॉन-एड्रेनालिन क्या है? ये डिस्ट्रॉयबल है या अनडिस्ट्रॉयबल है? इमॉर्टल है कि इमॉर्टल है? अरे जब आप नॉन-एड्रेनालिन देते हो तो what happens? There is a rise in the blood pressure and then it comes down because of the activity of the catechol-methyl transferase as well as of the monoamine oxidase. No? So that means कि अगर कोई आदमी मर गया, ठीक है ना, तो आप जो आपके माइन्यूटेस्ट पार्टिकल है उसको आप मरे हुए आदमी से ले करके जिंदा नहीं कर सकते उस पर्टिकुलर डेट में. कर सकते हैं? Can you do it? No, you cannot do it. Next. So this is what I have mentioned. Then what is soul? Soul is called as the सूक्ष्म शरीर. जो वेदों में लिखा मैंने आपको बताया कि तो गीता में भी दिया हुआ है. उसमें कहा ये शरीर है. शरीर का मतलब ये हुआ कि जैसे आप शक्ति से बने हैं और पार्टिकुलेट मैटर से बने हैं, सिमिलरली the soul is also consisting of two things. One, which is the minutest particle, and second thing that it has got the energy which is undestroyable. Okay? Now what is the soul? I have given for you a little thing to think about it. Soul is the minutest biomolecule. It is also a biomolecule because it is existing in the biological system of the living person. In the particulate physics language, which has been described even in Vedas, ये तो बाद में आई है particulate physics. वेदांत में तो न जाने कब से described है, millions of years before. The second thing, it lives in all living beings, including the human being. चाहे बैक्टीरिया हो, चाहे वायरस हो, चाहे पेड़ हो, चाहे पौधे हो, चाहे आप हो, चाहे पशु हो, चाहे पक्षी हो, everywhere this Atma exists. Now it has been described in all ancient literature books. सारे धर्म इस बात को मानते हैं कि आत्मा है. फर्क यही है कि कोई उसे आत्मा कहता है, कोई रूह कहता है, कोई कुछ कहता है. Now it is called by different names. The biomolecules, which is originated from the most powerful inner layer of the energy of the middle zone, I have told you, of the fireball, is immortal, and the molecules which are produced from the outer layer, they are mortal, they die out, they are destroyed, and that is why we are destroyed in this universe, but not in the physical world. Right? So I told you earlier that it is the seed which matters, which is producing the weak mortals, the small plants are very strong, tree like very long living tree. Next. 7th point. The particulate matter, as per physics, the particle physics, which is the subject now coming up very growingly, that it occupies the space. But its quality is such that it is not affected by the gravitational force. आप ऊपर से डालते हैं, नीचे चला जाता है आपका एप्पल, लेकिन ग्रेविटी के फोर्स से वो इफेक्ट नहीं होती है. You see what happens in this universe, if there is a particle which is produced, it automatically generates the antiparticles. And the antiparticle and particle, they fight together and they die out. But it does not happen in case of this minute particle because it has come from the strongest inner zone of the जो आपका ब्रह्मांड वो है लाइफ. At the end of the life, it is proposed by us. मुझे ऐसा लगता है, and I theorize that the minutest biomolecule is ciphered out. देखो सारी ऑक्सीजन लगा दीजिए, सारा वेंटिलेटर लगा दीजिए, सारा एयर प्रेशर लगा दीजिए, लेकिन उसको आप रोक नहीं सकते हैं. If the atma has gone out of your body, it has to go out. It cannot be prevented by anything. अगर ऐसे ही होता तो जो वेंटिलेटर पे पड़े थे वो जी जाते. आप क्या करते हैं, थोड़े दिन के लिए उसका जीवन जो है बस बढ़ा देते हैं और क्या करते हैं, पैसा कमाते हैं, बाकी तो कुछ उसका विशेष रोल है नहीं. So the speed of the soul particle being a different class of biomolecule is more than that of a light. It's very speedy, and this has to be worked out. It is proposed by me. The biomolecules of the soul has got an intense penetrability. आप कहीं उसको डाल दीजिए, चाहे शीशे में बंद कर दिए, चाहे कहीं बंद कर दीजिए, but it can penetrate and get away from this Brahman. So it is because of the very high speed. This smallest particle of the soul cannot be stopped by any amount of atmospheric pressure, or oxygen, or any other oxygen supply material like the ventilator. Okay? It will be noted by all of you. Next. Now, जैसे हम संसार में millions of people are here. Yes, I started little late also. So, just as we are millions different types, similarly there are different types of the minutest molecule, the bio-atma is also there. And they are also freely moving in different types of the world. चाहे वो भूलोक हो, चाहे वो परलोक हो, और चाहे वो अपना पाताल हो. Right? Now, since light can only be transmitted from a living biomolecule to the another living biomolecule with the power of giving consciousness and sensorial activity, our spiritual studies clearly indicate that life has originated millions of years before from these micro-sized soul molecules and not as described by the Big Bang theory, which is not accepted anywhere in the world now. Even today, we are worshipping our ancestors. लोग कहते हैं था ही नहीं, अरे था ही नहीं तो आप क्यों राम की पूजा करते हैं, क्यों आप कृष्ण की पूजा करते चले आए हैं? For thousands of years, you know, and therefore our faith is absolutely correct that the millions of micromolecules were existing long ago when the world originated. Next. This creativity has been shown in one of the things you must have seen that the Krishna is showing कि देखो ब्रह्ममुख खोला आपने और सब कुछ ब्रह्मांड सारा का सारा बना हुआ है. So Krishna said that I am the maker of this universe along with all the Brahman. So creativity has been shown also by Lord Krishna to Yashoda if you believe in Dharma. Next. Look, I will tell you in 2 minutes time what happens. Our biomolecules, I told you, they are in the balanced state. They are in the balanced state. तो अगर ये सब वेल बैलेंस्ड स्टेट हैं, तभी आप हेल्थी हैं, and that is what is known as physiology. But if these biomolecules they started to different other sets, you know, if they are disturbed, then you became a disease subject. तो क्या खेल है? प्रकृति का खेल ये है कि जो डिस्टर्ब मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं, they also disturb your signaling of the intracellular cells, जो कभी हम कभी आपसे बात करेंगे. Now, yes, just hold on. Now, if they are well balanced, we are in a healthy state. If indeed disbalanced, we are in the pathological state. And what we do, हम कोई भी थेरेपी करें, हमारा सिर्फ एक एम यही है कि जो डिस्टर्ब मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं they should be brought back to the balanced state. And this can be done by any system. कभी ये मत सोचिए कि हम ही सबसे आगे तेज हैं. हम जानते हैं बहुत से और systems हैं which are also very effective. Next. Now this is a study, and I don't want to say anything. जैसा ब्रह्मांड है, वैसे ही आपका शरीर है, वैसे ही आपके कान हैं, वैसे ही आपके और पार्टिकल्स हैं, वैसे ही आपके बायोमोलिक्यूल्स हैं, and this needs to be studied. Next. I told you millions of human beings exist variation, and this I also taught at many times. Avogadro also said the same thing, and there are millions of souls which are exhibited, and the souls go according to your karma, and that is the Satkarma, Rajogan, and Tamogan. Then this is the carrier. जैसे आपका DNA है, which carries the information, interprets, and then produces a protein. And similar in this situation with this atma also, which proves that life comes only from the life and not merely from a particulate matter. Next. ये सेंसिटिविटी है, सेंसोरियम जो मैंने पहले दिखाई आपको, ये सेंसिटिविटी है. आज आप अपनी आंखों से चला देते हैं मोबाइल को, चलाते हैं नहीं चलाते हैं. आज आप अपने टच से टच स्क्रीन करते हो जाता है, तो क्या ये नहीं कर सकती है? Which is also made from the Atma, and therefore never think that you are the only person in the world who can motivate things. Next. This I need not to tell you. Body is like a pen which will talk about later. Next. Finally, for every action, you know, there is an equal and opposite reaction. अगर आप मारते हैं तो आपके ऊपर छींटा पड़ेगा तो जरूर गड़बड़ होगा. जो आप कर्म करेंगे उसका आपको फल जरूर मिलेगा. नेक्स्ट कर्मों का फल सबको मिलता है. Ultimately, I will conclude in a minute's time. That is the evidence of the minutest particle, that is the biomolecule, existing for the last millions of years, but not it has been demonstrated by any of the scientists in the world today. You are all biochemists and are created to biochemistry in some way. You are affiliated with that, so your effort should be to study such biomolecules like that of the soul and solve the mystery of the death. Third point, it will also lead to produce similar biomolecules. हम दूसरे का एगोनिस्ट प्रोड्यूस करते हैं, एंटागोनिस्ट प्रोड्यूस करते हैं. जब आप जानेंगे कि ये क्या है, तभी तो आप उसका एगोनिस्ट या एंटागोनिस्ट प्रोड्यूस करेंगे. So agonist for longevity and health of human being, which is the aim of the medical man and related people. It is an entirely different task, and it is a real challenge for all of us. However, let us hope for the better future, and I feel that it can only be possible being integrated in system in medicine. आप ये समझें कि हमने अकेले मॉडर्न साइंस पढ़ के सारा जग जीत लिया. मैं तो बहुत दिनों से फार्माकोलॉजी पढ़ा रहा हूँ. मेरा कॉन्सेप्ट बिल्कुल बदल गया है कि दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली नॉट ट्रू, एंड आई कैन गिव यू लेटर ऑन मेनी एग्जांपल्स. सो मॉडर्न साइंस कैन ओनली हेल्प ए लॉट. आपका क्या कर्तव्य है कि जो मॉडर्न साइंस की मॉडर्न मेथोडोलॉजीज है उनको आप ले करके यू डू सच स्टडीज, एंड आई थिंक यू विल कम टू सम कंक्लूजन, बट विदाउट कंपार्टमेंटलाइजेशन. ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि ये दंतु है, ये बीबीएस है, ये फार्मासिस्ट है, ये होम्योपैथ है. So you have to be very careful. You have to give regard to all the system of medicine, because all the system of medicine have got something or the other. Next, finally, thank you very much. I hope.
We're running in one small phrase. I can say that Dr. Saxena has shown us that it is a marvel of God's engineering, and we have missed so many things in the past. We have forgotten where we come from. We've forgotten what our Vedas are. We've forgotten actually Rig Ved. It is now coming out, was written more than 22,000 years ago. Just imagine how many centuries it would have taken us to get there. But here, I think he's given us insight into God's engineering, and I used to ask myself, where do we all come from as well? And when you showed us those 3 layers and Vishnu right in there, you answered my question. And because of the time, is there any quick question anyone has, or we're okay? Okay, well, thank you very much, Dr. Saxena. And by the way, he is one of the most incredible person. I've seen him in trains talking to people. I've seen him in lectures. I've seen him at the university when he was a student. And actually, I was an undergraduate. He was a postdoctoral student. And he used to inspire me more than my own professors. And I was very privileged.